Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Oh, well, welcome in. A very happy Monday to you, the 25th of July. Wow, think about that here. And the good news is we still only have 9 more months of the KBO and Japanese professional baseball. Hey, welcome in. It is Asian Baseball Today, powered on WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Ranieri, filling in for Dan Alexander, and I am joined by two of the very best. Doesn't get any better than these two guys as we welcome in the stars of the show. It is Adam Trigger and Tokyo Brandon hanging out with us here today on a Monday. Gentlemen, a $9 Monday at that, which means, yep, we got best bets for $9 over at WagerTalk.com, Trig, don't we? And what do you got in store for us here tonight?
Yeah, I have my Major League Baseball play for tonight. The only game I bet on tonight's board is up for $9, and I have a 5% play in the KBO. I only made one KBO bet last week, and it was a 5%er. It won 8-0. And I'm going to start this week off with a 5%er as well. That one is up on my page now, and it's Monday, so it's just $9.
All right, just $9. Doesn't get any better than that there, Trig. And I love it because I know Tokyo Brandon, he got himself not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. Did you say a 5-pack of plays up there? $9 right now going on there, Tokyo Brandon? What's happening at Wager Talk?
Yes, sir. I have 5 plays out today. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. Woo! And I packages them all together for $9. I will be giving away 1-2% client play at the end of this show, and probably a couple other plays while the show goes along, because a lot of my plays, not in the package, but a lot of plays that I have for this show are kind of tied in together. I added 18% on Saturday. So Saturday was a big day, and I'm up 166 on the year, 166% profit on the year. KBO winning 65%. So it's rolling pretty well. $9 Monday. So go ahead and grab the whole card for $9. It's a good day.
It's an awesome day. As a matter of fact, for $9, you gotta love $9 Monday over at Wager Talk, guys. Make sure you visit both Tokyo Brandon and Trig. Go grab his best bet in the MLB tonight. Now, Trig, $9, and you heard him there. He's got 5 plays for you there, Tokyo Brandon. $9 right now over at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's look back before we look ahead here, gentlemen. Here are the current standings after another weekend of action here, and there you go, top of the standings there with SSG, Kiwoom, the LG Twins, KT Wiz up there, your top 4, Kia Tigers coming in at 5th. Trig, not a lot of crazy movement here, but status quo, so to speak. What did we learn this past weekend in the KBO?
Yeah, Joe, I've come on this show and said it for a month now. I don't think the standings are going to change drastically. It's basically been the same top 5 for a while. And the one team that kind of had a chance to make that interesting was Lotte, and they were swept by Kia over the weekend, which really just creates the gap, makes the gap even bigger between the top 5 and the bottom 5. Now, we do have a bunch of import players shuffling. This is common for teams over the All-Star break to kind of make that decision that they're going to make a roster move and try to just switch things up. So, because we didn't get to it last week, I decided to kind of go through who the new import players are, and how that could potentially, impact us going forward. So 3 teams right now: Samsung, NC, Kiwoom, still have the same imports or foreign players that they started the season with. And I'm not going to talk about Hanwha or KT here because they made changes. Anthony Alford and Wes Benjamin for KT, Felix Pena and Jeffrey Ramirez for Hanwha. They made those changes back in the first half. So we've kind of, seen them for a few weeks now. They're kind of parts of the team. But the other 5 teams are going to have some new faces here going forward. I'll start with Kia, who swept Lotte over the weekend. I talked about him on the show. I said I liked them in that series. They pulled off the sweep. Thomas Pannone, he's their new starting pitcher. He looked good in his start. Kia won that start. He's a guy that was on the Blue Jays for a couple seasons. He actually really kind of got screwed by the COVID year because that was kind of the year that he was like right on. He was on the big league team for a while with the Blue Jays, 2018, 2019, 2020. He gets his minor league season canceled, and then he ended up in the Angels organization and had a bad season. So he's back here, and he looked okay. He looked okay in his start against Lotte. Didn't look so good in his first start, but they were really in desperate need of some pitching. So I think that's one of the reasons, in addition to the fact that they will get Sean Nolan back, that I am so sky high on Kia in the second half going forward. The biggest sort of movers were actually the first place team, the SSG Landers, which is actually amazing that they finished first place and did so without much of an effort from 2 of their 3 import players. So Ivan Nova is now out. They're going to bring in a guy named Sean Moramondo. I don't know much about him. He had 2 cups of coffee in the MLB, and one was in 2016, one was in 2021, and both were very short-lived. But he can't be worse than Nova was for SSG. So I have to think that's an upgrade. And then SSG makes the biggest splash, getting 9-year MLB veteran Juan Lagares. If you're a Mets fan, you remember him. He won a Gold Glove in 2014. Was really a pretty effective major leaguer for years. And now at age 30, I believe he's 33, he's going to take a crack at reviving his career in the KBO. So I love the moves for them. So the rich get richer there, Joe. He as SSG just gets better. Lotte, kind of a player swap in my opinion. DJ Peters wasn't doing much. Zach Rex, who was on the Rangers earlier this year, is now on Lotte, and they got him in quickly. He actually played over the weekend. I don't know that he's going to have a huge impact, but they needed to shake something up there. They weren't getting much out of Peters. And then the Doosan Bears, last year's KBO MVP Ariel Miranda, battled injury. They finally parted ways with him, and they're going to bring in Brandon Waddell. What's interesting to me about Waddell, he made his MLB debut in 2020 for the Pirates, and he's been on 4 different MLB teams since. So that means 4 teams saw enough in him to bring him in, and Doosan's always been really good at identifying import pitching. So I'm very interested to see if that move pans out for Doosan. He's a lefty. I think hitters could struggle with him in this league, and we'll see if he makes his debut either this week or next week. Last but not least, this could be the biggest one of all. Rebel Garcia, it looks like he will debut tomorrow against SSG. And LG hasn't had any production from an import hitter all year. Rio Ruiz was batting like $160 when they kind of got rid of him. So if Rebel Garcia gives LG some production, LG might be the best. They might have a stake at who's going to be the best team in this league going forward. But there's your import changes. So we're going to be seeing some new faces on some of these teams over the next few weeks.
Yeah, well, like you said, rich get richer usually right around this time of year. I think that's coming in the MLB as well here. But what do you think, Tokyo Brandon? Some takeaways here. Last time I think we spoke, you were sending over hieroglyphics and you called it a graphic or something along those lines. So what do you got for us here today? Talk to me.
Yeah, so my computer graphics are getting a little bit improved. I made a chart here for every once in a while. That was made out of cookie dough, by the way, and that was Jimmy next door. So today I actually used Excel. So I want to talk about home away advantages. So I update this on this show, maybe every 2 weeks or so. And you'll see when the graphic comes up that still there's only 3 teams that are what I consider normal, which means they're better at home than they are on the road. And that's SSG, NC, and Hama. The first time I put this graphic up, there were only 2 teams. And now NC has joined the club. And as you can see, we talked the last time I put this up, Adam and I kind of agreed that this is going to regress to the point where almost every team is going to be better at home than on the road. And as you can see, KT, Kia, and Kiwoom are on the precipice of joining the normal group. They're only like a percent or 2 away. So this is regressing towards normality as we speak. So I assume this will be a little bit better. I wouldn't base my cap on this, as Ralph always says when he puts graphics up. I wouldn't base a cap on this, but if you have something in mind that you're thinking about playing, and then you look up here and say, oh wow, LG is minus 8% at home. Holy cow. Might want to make that a 4%. It's something to kind of push you over the edge if you have a hunch. But LG is the best away team in the KBO, as you can see by this. And so this is basically a simple graph. Screenshot it. I'll come back and update it in a couple weeks. I assume there'll be a couple more teams on the normal side, meaning what I mean by normal is the home advantage will be black instead of red. I assume a couple more teams will be in that category the next time I put this up. But as we are today, this is what it looks like.
All right, great stuff there, guys. And we've got some more interesting games as well as another interesting series we're going to talk about. We'll have some best bets, but a quick reminder, guys, $9 Monday. Both these gentlemen have $9 best bets locked and loaded at WagerTalk.com. You got Trig's 4% best bet in the MLB tonight. And Tokyo Brandon, he got himself not 1, not 2, but 5 best bets going $9 right now over at WagerTalk.com. We're going to focus on one of our featured games here coming up, guys. How about the LG Twins versus SSG here? Minus 150 on the money line for the Twins with a total of 9. Little up there, huh? So talk to me here, Trig. What do you think of the Twins and Landers coming up here?
Well, as I said in the last segment, it's possible these are your 2 best teams in the league. To me, and I've been saying this since the beginning of the year, Joe, I've had SSG as the top team in this league since our preseason show. Yeah. It's panned out. They're still number 1, and I think the moves that they made just solidify the fact that they're still the best team in this league. So I'm really not looking to bet against them, especially when they're an underdog, right? Like, the way I look at it, like they've won 8 straight games, and suddenly they're a dog, at home here. It just does. I find that kind of odd. It makes sense why it is because of the pitching, but you look at Won Suk Oh, who's the pitcher for SSG. He really wasn't a very good pitcher early in his career, but he's 21 years old. And it's getting to the point where he's been good enough this year to make me think that maybe he's just figuring how to pitch. He's maturing a little bit. He was really young and got killed at age 19 and 20 when he probably shouldn't even have been up in the KBO as it is. But now he's 5-4, 4.01 ERA, and he's been respectable. So, it looks like Garcia is definitely debuting for LG. I don't know I'm guessing Lagares will probably come later in the week for SSG. I'm sorry, Garcia is going to debut for LG. Lagares is probably going to come later in the week for SSG, but SSG's won 8 straight, so I don't know if I want to change anything right there anyway. They get 2 other two other domestic Korean-born pitchers back that bolster their overall bullpen. So they get a bullpen upgrade as well. So right now, SSG, Plutko's been decent, and the LG bullpen, when rested, is definitely the better of the 2 units. There's no question about that. But SSG is just playing well right now. So if I was going to bet this game, this one missed my card, but I like the Landers plus 1.5. It was minus 115 before I got on the show. I think the free run with SSG here for minus 115 is a pretty good bet if you're going to get involved in this game.
You shocked with the line here, Tokyo Brandon, on this one with these two teams? Think it should be a little bit closer to pick 'em, or is it price right for you?
Yeah, actually, I made a note because these lines in the KBO come out quite late. But I do my numbers and stuff before the lines come out, and I made a note to myself. I like LG here at around minus 140, but it'll probably come out at minus 210. But it actually came out. It actually came out at minus 150. So and the reason is because SSG is a really good team, like Adam said. The problem is with SSG here is that Owan Suck. And my nickname for him is O1 Sucks because I don't like him. But actually, if you look at his recent games, he's been doing much better lately. Let's see. I have him as a 1.40 whip. But lately, versus SG, he only gave up 2 earned runs in his last time against them. Against LG. And he had 9 strikeouts and 5 walks. So 5 walks is probably going to hurt you. I do like Adam Plutko here, though, because out of 75 pitchers, I have him ranked number 8 out of 75, and I have Owan Suk ranked 56 out of 75 pitchers. So, I think the starting pitching is definitely LG's advantage, and LG definitely has a better bullpen. If you look at the last week in run production, they're pretty much neck and neck at around 5.5 runs each. So, when I'm capping something, I want to see what's the difference between the two things I'm looking at. And really, the biggest difference I see here is the starting pitching. So if I was going to make a play on this, it'd probably be LG in the first 5.
Ooh.
But, I do my numbers. I do first 5 numbers as well. And actually, surprisingly, Owan Suk has better numbers in the first 5 innings than Adam Plutko. So... yeah, it's kind of tough. It's a tough play, but overall, I think LG is the better team, the better bullpen, and the better starting pitcher overall. I would go with LG. The price is a bit high, but yeah, I would lean to LG, but it's tough to play it at that number.
Well, it's only high if you don't win. So otherwise, it was spot on there. That's exactly how to look at it. All right, so we've got LG and SSG Landers. That is coming up here, guys. It's our featured preview game. And then, of course, we got a series preview coming up, too, as well. Both guys are going to take a look here. And I believe it's Lotte and Doosan there, Trig, for you, is it not?
Yeah, I'll look at this series. I'm going to do this similar to how I did it on our last show. I went with a team that I said I was going to try to bet a few times in the series, and it worked out quite well because the Kia Tigers over the weekend ended up sweeping Lotte. So I said I liked them, was looking for a spot to jump in with them in the series, and they ended up winning all 3 games, the first of which I gave out as a best bet on the show on Thursday. So we're going to try to do that again here, although I've got a little bit of a different take on this one. So Lotte Doosan is the series I'm looking at. And basically, Joe, I'm going to look for Lotte to bounce back after being swept over the weekend by a team that I really think was completely priced incorrectly in Kia. I have the Kia Tigers. I made a power ranking that I went over on the last show, and I had Kia number 2 behind SSG, and they absolutely trashed Lotte so bad that it was 23-0 on Sunday. 23-0 was the final in that game. But Lotte is not. They're not 23-0 bad, right? Like it's just it got out of hand. But this is still a Lotte Giants team that I think is the one team that maybe could play their way back into the race and give us some sort of a playoff race. Because as of right now, like I said at the open of the show, there is no playoff race. The top 5 teams are distancing themselves from the bottom 5, and the top 5 teams are who makes the playoffs in the KBO. So after being swept, this is a huge series for Lotte. It's a huge series for Doosan as well, but Doosan's the team that I think is just going to plummet out of this race. Unless Brandon Waddell comes over and he's just like, winning every start and he's just a huge find for them. I don't see how this Doosan team can make a run in the second half. And, with Lotte being embarrassed, I don't love the Giants in the opener of this series. The reason being, Jinuk Kim is not, a pitcher I really want to back. And the one guy I really don't want to bet against on Doosan, Woonjun Choi, is is the guy making the start on tomorrow's game. With that being said, if Doosan takes the opener here, I'll absolutely look to Lotte on Wednesday or Thursday. You should get Charlie Barnes. You could get Charlie Barnes at some point. Actually, you should get Barnes at some point. You might even get Siwoo Park, depending on how they want to tweak their pitching. But Lotte is going to have opportunities later in this series. If I was going to bet tomorrow's game, I would take the plus money with Lotte because I think they're a little bit undervalued. But really, I'm kind of hoping Doosan wins the opener, and it'll set up a really nice spot for me to jump in with the Giants on either Wednesday or Thursday with a better pitching matchup, because I'm pretty much willing to go against any Doosan pitcher right now, not named Woon Jun Choi.
All right, there we go. Love it, and you gotta appreciate it. He knows what he's looking for here, Tokyo Brandon, and he's gonna jump in with it. How about you? Which series are you looking at here heading into the week?
And I agree with Adam. I love Choi Won-jun for Doosan. He's had some rough patches this year, surprisingly, but his whip is 1.2, and he's one of the best Korean pitchers around. So that's just my 2 cents there. And I haven't got a song in yet. Recently, over the weekend,
yes,
I was laying around in my yard just hanging out, and I'm not the world's most physical guy, but when she slipped me tight, she nearly snapped my spine. It's a low.
Yeah, go, goddamn. Yes. Okay.
Anyways, so that's my. Oh, jeez, Joe, you got your wife up.
Go,
okay,
man,
excellent.
go.
So I was listening to some classic rock over the weekend. Kinks are very underrated, actually. They're a pretty good band. So the series that I would like to talk about is Kiwoom and KT. And the reason I like this series is, surprisingly, these two teams, when they get together, they have an average runs per game of 7.7. And in the KBO, the average runs per game right now is 9.0. So these two teams get together, and it's fairly low usually. And the reason is because they have two of the better bullpens. I have Kiwoom's bullpen ranked 2, and I have KT's bullpen ranked 3. And their starting pitching has actually been fairly well, doing fairly well lately as well. We were talking about the SSG-LG teams and how well they're doing. Both of those teams are averaging about 5.5 runs a game in the last week. Well, KT and Kiwoom are averaging around 2.5 runs the last week. So their run production is down a bit. We got two really good bullpens. And, both teams have a really good rotation. So starting with tonight, we got Despaigne against Han Hyun-hee. Han Hyun-hee is probably Kiwoom's worst starter in the rotation, and yet he has a good whip. He has a great strikeout ratio. In his last 3, he's given up 0, 3, and 5, so he can get blown up. But I don't think KT's got the kind of lineup to blow him up, and KT's got some injuries as well. The total on tonight's game is 9. The team totals are 4.5. So looking at this series going ahead, if you see 9s and if you see team totals of 4.5, I would trend towards the unders on all of those, because these teams are averaging 2.5 against normal pitchers and normal bullpens, and these two teams have very, very good bullpens. So I would tend to think that this is going to trend towards the unders in both team totals. If you see 4.5s, if you see 9s and 9.5s, it's definitely worth putting a couple shekels on the under in all 3 of the games in this series, because these two teams get together, they average 7.5. And they got great bullpens, and neither team is really run producing very well. So in this whole series, I'm going to trend towards the under.
All right, liking the under. You're in agreement there, Trick? I see you shaking your head. You like unders in that series?
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I typically would only look toward unders in this league. I mean, listen, like there will be occasionally there's a series that just gets out of hand. There's a game that gets out of hand. But this year, when they implemented the strike zone, we're seeing just better pitching numbers in general. So I still think I'm either targeting an under. I haven't played a ton of totals this year, but the only times I've actually given a total to my clients, it's been an under. So if the number's right, then I agree with him. It makes sense. But that's the only way I could look. Overs are just in my opinion, you're just not getting the right. You typically end up having to lay a premium number to back and over in this league, unless you're willing to take on the top pitchers. So
Right.
the only time you're getting value on an over is if you're willing to like go against a Drew Rucinski or a Casey Kelly, and that's not really my style either. So yeah, I would agree that I'd either target under or wouldn't be touching the total.
Yeah, that's why it was kind of interesting.
Kia would definitely be a team that I'm not betting an under on, because that team can put up 3 touchdowns any game against any pitcher.
Yeah. The 9 was interesting on the SSG game here tonight too as well. All right, so let's do it. We got some best bets to talk about here, Trig. So when you put it all together, give us a game you're looking at here. You like a little more than the rest.
Yeah. So again, my favorite play on the board is up for $9 at WagerTalk. It's my 5% play. There's 2 that I really do like. Were close for me. They're not gonna. They just didn't quite reach client play status. One was the one we talked about earlier, SSG plus 1.5, and the other is the Kia Tigers. And I'm just gonna go back to what I said last week on Thursday. I'm probably higher on Kia. I probably have them rated higher than most. I actually have them second behind SSG in my power ratings, and they made me look good over the weekend, Joe, because they went on the road to Lotte in a series that I think a lot of people like the Giants, the way that the Giants pitching stacked up in that series, and they absolutely mauled Lotte 3 games in a row and pulled off the sweep. And I'm willing to ride this team as long as they've got pitching and a rested bullpen. Kia's going to be a good bet. Now, if Kia reverts back to the way they were a couple weeks ago, where they're pitching, they're not getting length from their starting pitchers and their bullpen's exhausted, then you have to reevaluate. But everyone had an off day yesterday. And in that 23-0 win, they really didn't burn any relievers. So, here you're going to get Gi-young Im, who I have as the better starter in this matchup. It's Min-hyuk Shin.
Great looking girl.
Gi-young Im. Yeah, Tokyo Brandon said Im's girlfriend is something else. So I got to look that up. But anyway, I think Im's the better starter. And Kia, in my opinion, Kia is just head and shoulders the better team. And I thought the price was a little cheap at minus 130. So, I'm willing to kind of continue to ride Kia here until they let me down and until they lose. And I think if they win this game, the only way I would look tomorrow, unless their bullpen is completely shot, would be Kia again. So again, the Kia Tigers, I'm high on this team going forward in the second half. They looked great over the weekend, and I like them here in this matchup with NC, who just got some tough news. It looks like Wes Parsons re-injured himself, and he's probably not coming back, which is a tough blow to a team that was finally getting healthy. So Kia minus 130 would be my best. Is going to be my best bet for the show. I think the Tigers get it done here.
All right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. How about it? Talk to us, Tokyo Brandon. Which way you leaning here for a best bet?
Yeah, so for our subscribers, it's a beautiful day. Sky lots you feel like it's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. I'm giving Bono a run for his money as the vocalist for U2. Yeah, one of my favorite U2 songs, by the way.
Yes.
Never really got into them, but It's a Beautiful Day is a pretty cool song, and the video is kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, my best bet today is actually a 2% client play that I put out, and I'm going to actually give you 3 bets in one, because there's 3 different ways you can bet this game, and my numbers all point that way. So it's in the Hanwha Samsung game. Samsung has really been falling off a cliff. They've been run producing, but their pitching has not been getting it done. And they just have an awful bullpen. And I'm not usually a person to back Hanwha. Usually Adam likes to back those underdogs, and I generally don't like to. But in this game, my numbers point to Hanwha. And despite Hanwha being last place and being pretty much great at nothing but good at some things, Jang-min Jae is on the mound for Hanwha tonight, and he's been really good, actually, especially versus Samsung. And he's in better form in the first 5. Hanwha in general is in better form in the first 5 innings than Samsung, and Samsung is starting back Jung Hyun, He's not good. He's got a 161. He's got a 161 whip. He's regressing despite the bigger strike zone. And he's given up 25 earned runs in his last 6 starts. So despite Hama not really having a great run producing team, these teams are actually neck and neck in the last week. They're both averaging about 3.5 runs per game. But I just like Hanma's starter a lot better. So I'm on Hanma in the first 5 on the run line plus 0.5 runs at plus 100. And I'll give you a couple other ways you can bet this game. Full game Hanma plus 1.5 is also a good bet because they have a better bullpen, actually. Hanma's generally not good at anything, but they have a better bullpen than Samsung. So Hanma first 5 plus the half run. I would even take Hanma full game plus 1.5. And I would even take Samsung's team total under because Jangmin Jae is a really good pitcher and he pitches really well against Samsung. So I don't see Samsung getting a lot of runs in this game. And any runs you can get with Hanma, I would take it. The bookmakers really hate Hanma, and for good reason, because Hanma's not really good at anything. But in this game, I see them with the edge in the first 5. I see them with the edge in the full game. So I'm all over Hanma in this one.
Can't go wrong. A lot of different ways to be able to cash those tickets in this game here, but the best way to be able to cash those tickets is head on over to WagerTalk.com right now. Guys, go grab Trig's 4% best bet in the MLB tonight. And you just heard Tokyo Brandon tell you about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 best bets. He's got $9, guys. $9 Monday right now. No reason not to start the week off on an extremely profitable note by visiting these guys. Go grab these best bets. They've been on fire, and that will continue here when we speak again, which I believe will be on Thursday, guys. We'll come back. We'll get to do it all over again as we'll have a few games in between now and then. But heck, we're going to be ready to go. So on behalf of Tokyo Brandon and the many, the groupies he's got hanging with him every time he sings, Trig, appreciate it, guys.
Where's she?
We'll be back. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. You'll get notified when we go live, which will be Thursday again this week, guys. But until then, best of luck with your plays. $9 Monday. Go take advantage of it, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday. Good luck.
With football around the corner, time to start building up that bankroll. And we want to help by slashing the cost of all daily picks packages priced at $25 or more, including 5% best bets through the end of July. This amazing promotion runs from Tuesday, July 12th to midnight on Sunday, July 31st, and drops the pricing down to $25 daily packages for $12.50, $29 daily combo packages for $14.50, and $35 5% best bets for $17.50. But even better, this is the perfect time to take advantage of our one-day all-access pass. This package locks in the handicapper of your choice for one whole day for only $39, including when they have a 5% top play that usually sells for $35. But during our 50% slash promotion, you get a one-day all-access for only $19.50. We know this business is loaded with competitors and copycats, and we are very proud and extremely excited to be one of, if not, the premier sports betting information provider in North America. Our special discount pricing goes live on Tuesday, runs through the end of the month, does not require a coupon, and is available just by going to your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo Handicappers homepage right now.